In this episode, I want to share with you how to rank on Google without having to build backlinks. In fact, I've used this exact same strategy on multiple blogs, including one where every time I put a new blog post up, it ranks on Google on the first page within hours. Not days, not weeks, but hours. So be sure to stay tuned. By the time you finish watching this video, you're going to feel the power. Let's go. And welcome to the Blogger Revolution. My name is Chris, and here we talk about building passive income streams that work for you so you don't have to. Glad to have you here, but before we get started, be sure to check the link down in the description if you want to learn the exact strategy that I've used to be able to quit my job to do this blogging, affiliate marketing thing full time. It's bloggerevolution.com/workshop. Click on it in the description, and I'll see you there. So the number one thing that you need to do if you want to rank on the first page of Google without backlinks is you need to do effective and proper keyword research. Now, keyword research is basically the idea of finding the right topics to write about on Google, which means you're going to end up ranking for them relatively quickly. There is no amount of search engine optimization or SEO that you can do if you are going after the wrong keywords. It'll end up just being a waste of time, and your article probably won't even rank on the first couple of pages of Google. So to do effective keyword research, you need to find topics in your niche that you can write about. And before you even write that first word of the blog post, you need to actually Google the phrase and see what's appearing out there on Google. Now, there's a lot to think about when you're looking at that front page, but some key things that you can find. Is the question being answered specifically? If it is being answered pretty well, how good is the content? Are there pictures? Are there videos? Do you see forums and message boards on the front page of Google? Those are usually like the lowest form of content on the internet. And if you can create something that's better, that's easier to read, that addresses the question very specifically and to the point and succinctly, then you will be able to rank very quick for whatever keyword you happen to be writing about. A ninja trick that you can use to do this more quickly and effective would be one of my favorite tools that I use. It's called KeywordChef. I'll be sure to put a link down in the description so you can check it out and get 1,000 free credits just from trying it out. KeywordChef is going to really cut through the noise and find these low, super low competition keywords that already has low value content ranking on the first page, which means if you create something that's high value, that is more helpful, you'll be able to rank lickety split. And I'm not even kidding. So go ahead, give it a try. I'll be sure to put a link down in the description for KeywordChef. The next thing that you need to do in order to rank on the first page of Google with no backlinks is make sure that you include the keyword in the title of the article. And the title of this article needs to be as direct as possible while still satisfying what's called the search intent of that keyword. The search intent is basically what a person is really looking for when they Google this phrase. So if someone is asking how to make money online, they probably want to do that quickly, do it fast, and how fast can they set that thing up? So when you write your article, say how to make money online, 5 really fast ways to do it. That search intent is what's going to get people more to click more on your article. So make sure that you include the keyword in the title of your article. A ninja trick that you can use with this as well is make sure that your targeted keyword that you did the research on is in the front of that title as much as possible. You want to front load it. You want it to be the first thing that people see as they are reading. This is going to be helpful because if someone Googles a particular phrase and that exact phrase they see in your article, more likely they are going to click on it more times than not, and then it's going to increase the click-through rate on your particular blog post, which will inevitably raise that blog post higher and higher within Google. And especially when you can get into that first 1, 2, or 3 positions, right there, you can get some really decent traffic to whatever websites you have, or if you even have affiliate offers on that page as well. But just make sure to include the targeted keyword in the title of the article. The number 3 way to be able to rank as fast as possible on Google without any kind of backlinks is to include the targeted keyword in the first 100 words of the article itself. Now, this can be in a number of places. You can put it in the first couple of paragraphs as you're trying to introduce yourself to people and tell them what you're going to tell them within the article, or you can even put it in that first H2 tag, which would be that first subheading within your article. Whatever you do, just include it in the first 100 words because this is going to help Google know exactly what your article happens to be about. And if it's in that first 100 words, chances are Google might even take that little section and include it in what's called the meta description in the search results themselves. So if you think about it, when you are Googling something, you have the title, and then there's a few words right underneath it, usually trying to get you to click on those articles. Hopefully, you can find what it is that you're looking for. You can kind of manipulate that by either messing with the meta description by using an SEO plugin tool like Rank Math or All-in-One SEO. And once you have created that meta description, you'll be able to then increase the chances of people clicking on your links. But regardless, if you include it in the first 100 words, even if you miss out on including the word in the meta description, it's not that big a deal. It's going to give Google the type of context that they need to know what your article is about so that they know who to serve it to, and chances are you're going to get more clicks for it. The next trick that you should use is to make sure that you include one internal and one external link within your blog post. Now, I recommend that you put more, but you need at least one. So an internal and an external link is just, you're reading a blog post, you click on a word that happens to be a different color or underline in the blog, and it sends you somewhere else, whether it sends you on the same blog to another article, or if it sends you to another article that's on a different website. So the one that's on a different website, that will be called an external link, and one that's within your website where you're just clicking from article to article, that would be an internal link. This helps give Google a lot of context as to where you're referencing information from and how you can get people to stay on your website longer. Now, sometimes people will not want to link out to other resources or other research that they may have done when they're putting their blog post together. But I can tell you right now, don't worry about that. It's much better for you to link out to resources that support what it is you are saying, which will give you a lot more trust within Google and your readers that you're not just making this stuff up and putting it onto your blog. There's actually other people who can corroborate what it is that you happen to be saying. So be sure to include an external link. It can even help you with getting other future backlink opportunities in the future. But again, we're not talking about backlinks. This is how to rank without them. Internally, it's going to help you have people stay on your website much, much longer, which is always a positive indication to Google that people like the content as they land on your site. The next thing that's going to help you rank faster on Google without any backlinks is to include images within your posts. Now, these images need to be relevant images. They can't just be random pictures just for the sake of putting pictures up. They need to be stuff that is actually relevant to the post itself and that can actually help a reader as they're going through it so they can understand what it is that you're talking about. Now, the best way to do this, and I recommend this to everyone, especially people who I work with, students and clients, be sure to include pictures of things that you are doing with your cell phone, like personal pictures of you actually practicing the niche that you happen to be in. So for example, I have a golf site, and when I go golfing, I make sure that I take a couple pictures of things that I know I'm going to be writing articles on in the future. That way I have relevant pictures that are also unique to my website and nowhere else that I can include on the blog post. This helps make you more of a person to the people who are landing on your website. It's already hard enough to really express your personality just through the written word, but when you include personal images within the post, it really does help. You don't have to put your face out there and all of this fun stuff. You can put just relevant images of what it is you happen to be talking about. So if I was talking about a golf club, I'll take a picture of that golf club and include it in the article itself. Now, this doesn't mean that you couldn't take some what are called stock photos from places like Deposit Photo to be able to put onto your blog, but it's probably going to always be a better idea to use your own images as much as possible. And one last thing, don't forget to include alt tags within your images as well. This is just a very short description of what the picture is. This is going to help Google be able to index the image and know exactly what it sees on there. It can get some confirmation based on what you put in it. You don't want to game this, so just be very specific as to what it is and then be able to move on. Image tags and alt tags are super, super critical when we're doing this SEO stuff online. The next thing that you want to do if you want to be able to rank really fast on Google is to use short URLs. Now, URL is simply just what you type into your web browser to get a website to come up. So google.com/ whatever your article happens to be, that's what your URL is. And that last part is called the slug of the URL. So you want to make sure that slug is as short as possible, but at the same time, including the major keywords within the term that you are trying to rank for. So if you are writing a blog post about, how big can a fish tank be that has a beta fish in it or something like that, you don't want that entire question to be the slug of your URL. Just make it nice and short, because the keyword you're probably going for is, beta fish in big tank or something like that. Leave that. It's going to always be the same. You don't want to change your URLs if you can help it. Keep it exactly as they are. And then, as long as it's as short as possible, it makes it very easy for people to remember it. It makes it easier for Google to index it so that they know exactly what that article happens to be about. Plus, as a further indication as to what your article is about, so that Google can again know who to show that particular blog post to. Another ranking factor, in addition to not just the images, is to also include other types of multimedia. So that might include a YouTube video or a blog post. This is going to really help what's called the dwell time on your website, how long people stay on your website and actually enjoy the content. When Google sees these types of positive indications that people click from Google, land on your site, and stay a really long time, that is always a positive indication that people like your content to Google, and they will thus send you more traffic. And that's really what we want, right? So go find relevant videos on YouTube and then embed them in your blog posts. Now, when you are embedding them, just take the little embed code from YouTube and then just plop it onto your website and let WordPress do whatever it has to do in order to get that video to show up perfectly. Now, as a ninja trick with this, if you remember, when you put other people's videos on your blog, those other people, chances are they have their own agendas. They want people to click on their links and yada, yada, yada. So if you really want to get awesome with this, go out and create a video that's relevant to that blog post and include that video in that blog post. That way people can read and they can watch what you happen to be doing in your niche so that they can copy it and do it as well. Now, here is the super ninja trick that I was telling you about. If you really want to take this up a notch and start ranking on Google as fast as possible within hours, then you need to start using SEO optimization tools such as a Phrase, Surfer SEO, or a Neuron Writer. These are tools that use AI to study the first 10 to 15 articles that are appearing on Google and then telling you which topics that are in those articles that aren't in your article. That way you can take advantage of what Google is telling you about what they like about the articles that are already on the first page, and then include those topics within your blog so that you can rank with the big boys. This way you can be super optimized with your SEO and start outranking everybody else who didn't take the time to do this. If you want to use any of these particular ones, I'll list a couple of them down below in the description, including some other videos on my channel that can show you exactly how to use these tools so that you can optimize your content as fast as possible. Now, using all of these tricks is just one piece of the pie. If you really want to ramp up your affiliate marketing blogging business, I definitely recommend that you go check out the video I have right there, where I go into great detail about how you can build your own passive income and get some real time freedom just by using the exact strategy that I'm going to be using this year to build up and grow and scale my blogging business.